Name a vocalist, keyboardist, and guitarist who led a namesake band of his from the San Francisco Bay Area between the late 60s and mid-1970s, who wrote numerous songs for other artists, including co-writes on After the Love Is Gone by Earth, Wind and Fire and Turn Your World Around by George Benson, and who, in addition to launching his own solo career, also joined one of the biggest bands of the 70s and 80s as a second vocalist and keyboardist in place of a dearly departed guitarist vocalist who accidentally died in 1978. Yes, I am talking about Bill Champlin, and from his 1981 album Runaway, the track One Way Ticket. How many notes have we heard already? It's like dun, like D sharp, A flat, B, E, B, A, flat, F sharp, A, E, F sharp, dun, 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 B, dun. Yeah, God. And yet, that doesn't even get all those notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and yet we haven't even heard the note that the next part will be on. It's amazing. Something has come over you, and it makes me wonder, girl, what am I gonna do? Now that is brilliant. The verse is in dun 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 F sharp, F. It's the way it goes, like one way ticket to paradise. It throws in D minor, which hadn't been anywhere else. One of the compositional techniques I've noticed that the musicians in Toto and those close to them do on some of their best songs is that they will have like a certain song section that will have about 7 chords in it, including like flats, sharps, minor, major, and they will, but then the very next part of the song, like maybe a pre-chorus or something, will land in a completely different key center that wasn't included in that 7. And it might sometimes be like some strange, it might be a chord that has a strange relationship to the others. It's like you'll go from like a major to a half step up minor, which is a very weird way to go. D minor is a very unusual place to be constructing a bridge out of in a song where the first note you hear is D flat, except with like a major implication to it, with a D flat major. I'll be all by myself the day that you go. I'll be in love with somebody else while you go in the show. Every time a story ends, somebody wins or loses. We'll only be the best of friends. The first chord you hear in the verse is that da-na-na-na, girl, where he's going like, girl, what am I that is in G. G is a strange place to be starting verses from in a song where the first note you hear is D flat, the farthest note from the tonic of G. That's a tritone. 'Cause you bought a one-way ticket to paradise. I'll be off your mind. Girl, you got one this part right here is the intro notes that you're hearing. It goes starting in like D flat, D, and the notes, the scale, the basically the the pentatonic from D, the diatonic from D flat. It hits all the notes within it, like all 7 of them, but on the verses and the bridge, it chooses 2 key centers that are very unusual for a track where the main theme is a diatonic in the key of D flat. You know, you have the verse in G, the furthest thing from D flat, and you have the bridge in D minor, which is a strange place to go when you're moving up only half a step. When you move up half a step, you either move from like a minor to a major, or you move from a major to a major. But it's very strange to go from like a major in one key, and then or even a minor, and then up to a minor just half a step up. It's in love with somebody else. When you go to the show. I also love the accents. It's like the those notes, those guitar notes keep appearing, keep syncopating the cadences of the vocals. They're coming in at like odd moments in the bar, on odd beats in each bar. And that goes through that chromatic sequence of rising chords. That's, of course, leading us into a modulation of what we've heard already. Now it's all going to be higher. That passage right there, that when it goes dun, when it suddenly speeds up, kind of under the vocals, the guitar anyway, it goes through that strange double speed cadence for a moment there, and then it's just so, oh god, it's so clever. Did I say that Bill Champlin is a great vocalist who really knows how to make the most out of vowels and words and such? Now I'm going to assume that that's either Page or that's probably Lukather. You see, the catchiest songs are the ones that include unexpected key changes and put chords in that you wouldn't expect. Some of the best songs really do include 12 or more chords because they're fully exploring the tonal spectrum and it gives you more of a contrast between verses, bridges. Pre-choruses, chorus. Let's see. Guitar is credited to Jay Graydon and Steve Lukather, and produced by David Foster, who also plays keyboard. David Foster was everywhere around this time. Saxophone by not this track. Backing vocals: Carmen, Grillo, Richard Page. Of Pages. See the Who's Right, Who's Wrong video uploaded about a week ago. Pages, Pages was Richard Page's pre-Mr. band. Tamara Champlin, Bill's wife, Tom Kelly, and Venette Gloud. I was looking her up the other day. on one of the videos. Yeah, from St. Tropez, yeah. And bass, Lee Sklar is the most recognizable name on bass on this album. And drums, 4 people mentioned, the most recognizable being Jeff Porcaro. And yeah, there you have it. Bill Champlin, the track One-Way Ticket, co-written with George Selpach, from the 1981 album Runaway, his second solo album after folding the Sons of Champlin in 1977. He would reunite that band in about 20 years later, when his time with Chicago was starting to get, when the Chicago situation was kind of starting to stagnate, like in the late 90s. But he would also, the following year, or later the same year, he would join Chicago at the request of Danny Seraphine. He would be the vocal replacement for Terry Kath, taking on his Kath's like lower end register, and also becoming a second keyboardist in the band. They would have to get someone else to. They would have to get some other guys to fill Kath's guitar shoes. At the time, being Chris Pinnock, who never really joined and was never photographed with the band. But Chicago, of course, would go on to record 2 excellent albums in 82 and 84, 16 and 17. And Bill Champlin would sing lead on, he would have his lead moments, like on 16, he sings track 3, Bad Advice, he wrote, kind of an R&B number. And he sings the verses in Sunny Think Twice. And he has a few like bridges. He sings the bridge in What You're Missing, the opening track. And his voice really complements Cetera's. You know, Cetera has that tenor, that falsetto tenor, and Bill Champlin has that grittier sound. They would also work really well together, trading lines like on Hard Habit to Break, their huge hit of 1984. You know, Cetera singing the verses and Champlin singing the refrains. You know, that part like, I'm addicted to you, baby. That, he would, on that album 17, he would write the song Please Hold On, which is kind of a follow-through, thematically it seems, of Turn Your World Around, kind of a similar type of composition. After Cetera left Chicago in 1985, he would have more, his profile in the band would rise a bit higher. He would have a few more lead vocals, culminating, I guess, with his lead vocal on Look Away, their 1988 #1, written by Diane Warren, although not necessarily one of their best songs. But in fact, in 1988 was also the year that he sang the theme song to the series, to the cop series, the crime drama, the Carol O'Connor crime drama, In the Heat of the Night. Yeah, so one busy guy during the 1980s, and of course he was on many sessions. In 1981, he was also involved in another Foster production, The Completion Backward Principle by the Tubes. The album that kind of streamlined them. A great collection of songs with a video. The Completion Backward video, I think it was called The Match, but like a video to just about every song on the album. Hilarious stuff. Great musical comedy. Anyway, yeah, Bill Champlin, one of the greatest talents out of the San Francisco Bay Area, if not the entire West Coast. One of virtually the doyen of West Coast AOR. His name is synonymous with it all. And he's been called the hardest working man in showbiz, or at least he was, anyway. And still doing great stuff, I imagine, out there right now. Anyway, for more Rubies and Sapphires from Bill Champlin and Chicago and the Sons of Champlin, see the directory of albums by English pop rock and blue-eyed soul artists, linked in the description below. And until next time, like and subscribe. This is Zaragon, the world's most air-traveled tri-maximalist, signing off.